down in your country, Alex. I don't want you getting in trouble.
Believe me, we know what Infragard is up to.
Oklahoma's too close to Austin.
Okay, folks, Governor Jesse Ventura is our guest. Best-selling author, wrestler, movie star, governor, football, National Football League, NFL commentator, surfer. Jesse, what is there you haven't done?
I don't know, but I got a few years to figure it out yet, Alex. You never stop going because, in the words of the late, great Warren Zevon, I'll sleep when I'm dead.
Program note to stations. This is a network break coming up. We're going to the end of we're going right to the bottom of the hour, 29 after. We're going to let the governor go here. So we're going to take calls right now for the last 12 minutes or so with Governor Jesse Ventura, giving you the inside scoop. Jesse, why did you give this show first, the inside scoop? I was very honored when you called me and said you were going to give us the exclusive. Why?
Well, for a number of reasons, Alex. Your participation in the show was exceptional, and we appreciated it. And, you flew out to L.A. a couple times and all that to participate, and so why not? I reward the people that reward me, and so that's a reason for it. Plus, you have the listening audience, the base market that this show is designed for. I would be crazy not to come on your show with my show because, I'm not going to lie. We're out for success on this show. I hope this show is hugely successful.
Yeah, but I know the TV shows you turn down. I mean, I don't know if you want to say it, but you're turning down something with 30 million viewers coming up in a few weeks because you want to be out of the country. I'm just really honored you came because I know you're turning down a bunch of really huge media interviews, but doing our show, so we appreciate it.
Well, no problem. And like I said, you're a wealth of information, Alex, that we can always rely upon. And, so doing your show is just simply the left hand washing the right hand.
Well, folks, we're going to post this interview up at Infowars.com. Over 200,000 people a day get the free podcast. Get it, share it with everybody. We're going to post a YouTube video of it, share it with everyone, because if this show can be a big success, the system may start letting more of this on the air as the internet culture takes over the mainstream media. We can beat the globalists. If they can't beat us, they're going to try to join us, and we can slow down this whole system. That's what Tweety Bird always said. If you can't beat them, join them. Well, if we can beat them, they're going to have to back off. And believing we can expose these people is half the battle. Believing you can win. Or as G.I. Joe says, knowing is half the battle. I believe taking action is half the battle. Resistance is victory. Matt in Illinois, you're on the air with Jesse Ventura. Go ahead, Matt.
Hello, Mr. Ventura.
Hi, Matt. How you doing?
Oh, pretty good. I wanted to know, I don't have a TV. I gave up watching TV a long, long time ago because I didn't like being treated like I was stupid. And it sounds like you've got a really good show, and I'd like to know if there's any plans to put it on the web or somehow that I'll be able to watch it without having to.
I don't know at this time, but then again, I'm not a good web person to talk to, but I certainly will inquire to find out what the options are about doing it over the web or whatever. I don't know, but at this time, the only thing I know is we're going to be on TruTV starting December 2nd.
Yeah, Matt, thanks for the call. I'll tell you this. Time Warner is putting a lot of their stuff on YouTube now. Most TV shows are there after the series runs. Then it's up there with commercials on YouTube. I would imagine this is made for the internet. I would imagine you're going to be able to see it officially on the internet after it airs on TV. Go to a neighbor's house and watch it. The mind control box. But we're going to use the mind control box to deprogram people. Marianne in Iowa, you're on the air with Governor Jesse Ventura. Go ahead.
Hi, it's a pleasure. I just want to say I hope this wakes up the American people, and I praise you for doing that. I wanted to answer a quick question, then make a quick comment. Representative Mike Pence from Indiana, Republican, the other day I was watching the health voting on C-SPAN, and he said, and I wrote it down because I was freaked out by it, he said, it seems a few elite in a far distant country can run our lives for us. And immediately I thought of Bilderberger and all that, and I was going to ask you, which I think you've already answered, were you going to do a show on the Bilderbergers and the secret societies? You didn't answer that.
Well, hold on. You mean Senator DeMint admitted that foreign bankers run our country? I mean, that's amazing.
His quote, and I wrote it down, it seems a few elite in a far distant country can run our lives for us.
Okay, let's get Jesse's take on that.
Well, there's certainly that possibility, and yes, we definitely do a show on the Bilderbergers, which I was happily I knew of them, but I didn't know as much about them. And here's the interesting little sidebar for it. We had
Governor, you still there? See, that I know that sound. That's us. That wasn't Ron Paul the other day. Okay? That's our phone system. I want that on record. Tell you, it's like living in a clown house or something. Just call him back and let him finish his point. It's always when I got huge guests on, too. You know, Ron Paul, Jesse Ventura, and the standard operating procedure. Hell, I can call him on my cell phone, get him on that way. We've got General Stubblebine coming up with Dr. Rima Laibow, part 2 of the interview we started last week. And I do have a lot of other news that we're going to be covering as well. But hey, it's the miracle of technology, ladies and gentlemen. We're 50 years ago, 60, 70, 80 years ago, you couldn't even do stuff like this. And it's kind of the hallmark of this show now. That's what we do. It's how we do it. Okay, Governor, got you cut off there when you were going to add a point about Bilderberg. Go ahead.
It was either that, Alex, or they're cutting us off now. They're on to us. No, what I was going to add was that just a simple sidelight to the show, and then I got to run, is that we were interviewing a gentleman on the Bilderberg episode, and he had to travel from Europe to do the interview with me in New York, and we had to delay it a day because when he went to the airport, he was on the no-fly list. Now, this person's not a terrorist. Why would he be on the no-fly list, and who has the power to do that?
Well, that happens to even congressmen now. If they get crosswise and you're not charged, there's no judge, there's no jury, and now they're saying if you have bad credit, you'll be on the no-fly list, or if you're on the no-fly list, you won't be able to buy a gun. So you're not convicted of a felony or a misdemeanor or a parking ticket, Governor, but then you lose your rights. Isn't that 180 degrees the opposite from our republic form of government?
I would like to think so, and as I said earlier, Alex, it's just the case of the Big Brother, and in this case, it was dealing with the Bilderbergs that we had this particular guy we were going to interview, and he was coming from a foreign country to here, and he was on the no-fly list over there, and to my knowledge, he's not a terrorist, so. It's interesting that how they'll disrupt people's lives by putting them on this no-fly list if you simply are of a different political persuasion or whatever it might be.
Well, Governor, you've got to get to a meeting in downtown Minneapolis, so we've only got 4 more minutes left with you. Let's take 2 final calls quickly. Gary in Washington, then Mark in Minnesota. Gary, you're on the air with Jesse Ventura.
Honor to be here with you. I have a very important piece of information for the governor, and I have a big question for both of you. First piece of information, Shake Maps is a product of U.S. Geological Survey Earthquake Hazards Program. If you look at the Shake Map in Sichuan, when the earthquake happened with a rainbow over China on May 20th, 2008, the Shake Map is the exact same shape as the HARP weapon. That's point number 1, and then we'll get to point number 2.
Okay, what's your final point? Because we got to go here in a minute.
Okay, so check out the Shake Maps. Final point, there's too much fragmentation on the info war. Prison Planet, Birthers, Oath Keepers, 9/11 Truth, Audit the Fed, LP, Gun Owners, Skywatch. I would recommend both of you join and help create a constitutional defense fund. Alex and
Sir,
Governor,
we can't do it all. Hold on a minute. People act like Jesse Ventura or Alex Jones or Ron Paul have magical powers. We put our pants on one leg at a time, too. Freedom is fractured. It's good that we're not all unified because that makes us hard to stop. Governor, your comment on that.
Well, and the other thing is, too, is that how do you do it? It's like when I was the third-party candidate in Minnesota, I tried to bring all the third parties together so we could consolidate and become a force against the other two parties. I got news for you. It's like herding cats.
Infighting.
And I couldn't even bring them together on an issue that we all agreed upon, and that was campaign finance. None of us took dirty money. And it just fractured like nothing. And so I just threw my hands up in the air, and I said it may be impossible.
Yeah.
I think Alex makes a great point that they can't stop us all if we're all coming at them from different directions.
Yeah, it's a